much, but I mean, I could break this thing out. I mean, I went through it pretty closely.
Yeah.
And I just think that, again, is there a deadline on when to get this thing done?
Well, that was part of the problem. Is initially there was a deadline to get it done by early March. So all this stuff was getting jammed in really quick. That deadline's been missed, where now that you can slow down and look at budget and go through things a little differently.
Yeah.
And so again, the lead actress is also the funder. The location is actually it's a house in Encino that she has access to. So there's no location fee, but they still were charging scout fees or charging camera. Like, you know how to go through this stuff more than I do. That's why I wanted you to look at it.
Well, scouting, they, here's the weird thing too. I forget they have like 14 stunt people or something, right? They have a lot of, here it is, stunts. Wait a second, where are we here? We go down this road. Sorry. I just like pre-production, location, travel, breakfast. Let's here.
Yeah, what about like the pre-production costs? Does that make sense? Is the director fees in line? Like, I don't know how to look at any of this stuff, John.
I know, I'm looking at it right now again. So pre-production, so it's a 3-day shoot, right?
I think it was 3, now it's 3.5, but yeah, it's basically 3 days on location. They simplified everything to a single location.
Yeah, which should make it easier, but I'll tell you one thing, well, that's why they have insurance. You have to have insurance for that. It's taking over a personal home because you could trash it. But the one thing that stuck out too, if she got, I gotta find it again. I think there were like 14 stunt people that they were. Let me go down here. And if you got that many people working stunts, you need it. If you're leaving, you need to have a medic. If somebody gets hurt, right?
Okay.
That's just my thinking. I mean, I would always have if you have that many people working stunts, I would absolutely have a medic on set in case someone gets hurt. They don't have that.
Is there a line item or is a budget in there for stunt people? I haven't looked at it, but I don't remember. Is that in?
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me go through this. I saw it kind of stuck out to me. So I go, wait, what the fuck do you 14 people? I'm just going, it's such a long, let's see here. Where the fuck is it? 13500. Oh yeah, there's also one thing that stuck out. If you've got shooting this thing, they don't have a budget. They haven't budgeted a guy. DIT. A DIT to me is one of the most important people on any shoot. A DIT is the digital information technologist. He's the guy that backs up all the fucking shoot, right?
Okay.
In other words, you're shooting with, it looks like they're only using one camera, maybe two, right? But still, DIT, which is expensive. I rented the play, for Into the Woods during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I had 4 cameras, and also I like to know what cameras they're shooting on. I'm just curious what they're shooting on because they're shooting on video. They're not shooting on film, right? Even though I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're shooting on film. I think they're shooting on video, right?
Okay.
Because I looked hold on, look here. And it's only, they don't have anything for playback. Wait, VTR, here we are. One day they do.
Yeah, there was something on playback to have it there so they could see stuff, and that was.
Yeah, well, usually it's called playback, but they put VTR. That's line item 72. They deal with that for 3 days, right?
Yeah.
For $750, that's fine. Guest boy, all that stuff. So this is, it's a full crew. This is, not a small shoot they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 80 people. It's something crazy, and I'm like, but again, John.
It's fucking overkill.
Okay.
It really is, Steven. But that, like I said, if I text you, that's what these guys, the production company, they do this because that's what they're making money on every fucking line item. Like even though they have their style is to charge you $10,000. Now, $10,000, and again, I'm trying to go through this here. Wardrobe, key stylist, Jenny Williams, and team and all, 10,000. So that means she's bringing in her people.
Correct. Right? Yeah, she's bringing in her people. It's actually mostly her wardrobe that's in the main shoot. The goal now is to have the actors bring their own wardrobe to wear, so there's no wardrobe fee. Like there was some extra stuff in there that I think was eventually getting cut out that's not. But the big thing I'm trying to figure out, John, is how
stunt coordinator one day for 15 that are down. Stunts. And that, first of all, again, not knowing what they're planning on doing for stunts, that's, it could be ambitious, maybe not. It's one short little burst, it's very choreographed, you do, but still, that takes time in the production. So if they're doing it one day, I would be thinking you need a fucking half day at least to rehearse that. So when you come on set to do it, you can just do it. You're not wasting time.
Right.
Because these are 12-hour days too, by the way. It's these flat rates. The director is getting $15,000. That's $5,000 a day. For shooting, right?
Yeah.
3-day shoot.
Yeah.
And first of all, 5 to 7 minutes. I would like to have a better. Listen, is it 5 minutes or is it 7 minutes?
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Every minute cost, locations. I'm just doing up the topic. I'm just talking to anybody. Hold on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Camera prep. That's fine. First AC, 750. That's fine. They're important. Second AC, they have here. And then they have here. Then they have it down below, but not listed here. So it's really weird. Production manager, scout rep, 6 days at 500. Yep, well, they're in charge of the whole thing. Key grip has to go in the scout. Yeah. Well, where's the scout? Well, I guess they have to go look at the house, right? They're shooting the whole thing.
Yeah, there was 2 houses in Encino. They went and looked at both of them. Walk through.
They also have stuff in here. There's the front page. They also have here does include picture car vehicles and talent lighters, right? So they plan on getting cars and going, shooting in cars around wherever they're going, right? That's another whole cost, right?
Okay.
If you got picture car vehicles, okay, who's going to drive it? Who's going to pay the insurance for that, right?
Yeah.
Here it is: production insurance and workers' comp. That's what includes that, all right? So that the production fee, insurance was $6,000, right? For editorial finishing, post-production labor. Let me look at the post. That seems. It could be, that seems, it depends. These guys all have their team they work with and they hammer them, believe me, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They're going to the editor saying, hey, you're not, you're going to do it for this. Art department expenses. Hold on. McQueen short film, camera rental, 3 days to 2,500. So that sounds like one camera to me. Again, lens rental. So since there are no lens rentals, Stephen, what this tells me that they're not using prime lens, meaning most high-end shoots, like when I was shooting, we had prime lenses, which mean you change the lenses for everything you want. If I want a close-up, I'm going to be changing my lens to have a close-up. If I want a medium shot, I change the lens for me. If I want a wide shot, I change it for that, right?
Yeah.
It takes time, but cinematically, it's the best lenses, you can look. So these guys obviously are using the camera, probably a red camera or an Arri with a big zoom on it, so they can get it's much quicker, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have any lens rental at all. They're charging 3 days to 2,500. It sounds like they're using one camera. They're going to flip one camera on a steady cam for most of it, and then they're going to come in and bring a crane in. Where's the crane for like 1 day, I think.
Okay.
Steady cam. Yeah, this is really weird. Equipment costs. So these packages are all in. Cameras in. Grip rental. Yeah, that's expensive. Lighting rental. Yeah, lighting's expensive. They're charging $4,000 a day. Now, I don't know what they're lighting, but I don't know what's the scenario for the bit? What kind of locations are they shooting, Steven?
It's all in the house. It's basically it's a combination, John, between a fashion film, like a fashion short.
Yeah, like a runway kind of shit.
Well, they've got a whole runway scene in there because it's a model shoot. So there's a runway scene with models. So they were in the house. Well, it's not in the house. They've got it set up on the basketball court where they've got a pop-up. It's one of the production, rental people that's got a pop-up stage. And then they've got the grip lighting stuff around it so they can hang the lights. And it looks like an actual runway, but it's being set up on the basketball court.
Okay, I got it. So, all right. So this is a very hefty shoot, it sounds like.
Yeah, and so here's where the challenge is part of it is she's trying to create a production company to do these kind of 5 to 7 minute high end films. Like a normal fashion film on fashion TV and stuff is just, I joke, it's models rolling around in the sun. It's a bunch of cutaway shots with no real script, no arc. It's not like a short story.
It's fashion porn, I call it.
Okay. So the goal here, John, is to thread the needle between doing fashion porn, which she's got a whole Alexander McQueen collection that just arrived, with an actual narrated story. So there's a little bit of an arc of a story and acting in there. And the goal is for brands to potentially hire her production company to make these stories, because it would be a better next generation kind of film than just straight fashion stuff.
Right. So she's trying to create a narrative. Basically, it's like a glorified music video is what this comes down
to. It's like a music video but it's highlighting the fashion. So it's kind of product placement.
Yes, I get it. But she's a model herself, right?
Yes.
So this basically is a giant, two things. Giant vanity project for her, but more at the same time, it's really to help launch her own production company.
Correct.
Really what it comes down to.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
Okay.
And so doing it low budget guerrilla cameo style could be done, but then you're not going to try and go to a brand and get, 500, 600, 700, because the goal of this is if you're a production company saying, hey, I'm giving you $1 million production for your brand because this is a long form commercial, you kind of have to shoot at a high level. But I still don't know if this is high, because she has somebody that's an acting coach that looked at it and said, oh, you're getting ripped off, you're getting screwed. And I'm like, well, I don't know the answer, but let's at least, and thank you for your time again.
The acting coach looked at the budget. He said that?
Yeah, the acting coach looked at it and she's like,
if I were to say, yeah, I agree. These are really fat. For example, right here, they've got 12 runway models. Do you need 12 models?
No, so that one is now down to 8. So that one's more down to 8. Okay. I think there's 1,500 or something in there for wardrobe for the. Yeah, there's like wardrobe stuff that's not going to need to be there anymore.
Show guests, 20 of them. I mean, it's $300. That's 6,000. 20 times one day. You can have friends. Does she have friends she can just throw in there? That would save her $6,000. Yeah,
so that's what we're trying to figure out, John. And is some of the people costs I think could be removed, but I was more like, okay, is there a producer fee that's in line? Is the pre-production thing legitimate? Is there, all of
the cost they're charging, Stephen? Let me see here. When we look at the post supervisor, it's editor. Oh, wow. One day for $4,000, that's ridiculous. An editor for $4,000 for one day? Are you fucking kidding me?
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I need your expertise more on, is saying, okay, where are the ones, because I need to go back to these guys now on the time frame and say, this is way out of line. I need this stuff down 10, 15, 20, 30 per, like, I don't know where
to. Oh, no, the editor, I mean, come on. One editor, if you're an Oscar-winning editor, you might get $4,000 a day. But no, I'm sorry. I could get my editors, the top guys, I could get for, let's see, $1,500, $2,000 max, and that's high end, right? So $4,000 is ridiculous. The assistant editor is doing cut down reels and teasers, 5 days at $400. Yeah, that makes sense. That's right in line with an assistant editor. Let me see here. Coloring 1 day, $3,500. Visual effects. What visual effects are they doing for $5,000? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, find out. That's what visual effects. I want to know what they do. I mean, visual effects, but there's no CGI, there's no animation. So what are the visual effects? That sounds like they're doing something on the set. There's no previs, anything, right? Voiceover, ADR. What that means, Stephen, voiceover, well, that's just voiceover. If she's going to narrate something or do something after the fact, they have to record something over the actual filming when it's too noisy.
Yeah.
They have to go do ADR, which that makes sense. Original music? Who needs original music? No, you can get licensed rap for that. You can go to and list licensed music. Audio Jungle. I'm telling you, that's one I use them, and it's licensed. You can license it in perpetuity.
Okay.
So, original music clearance. Okay, if you get original music, why do you need musical clearance, right? If it's original, you don't need to clear it.
Yeah.
Right. So, again, audio stock, and the sound design. Okay, again, that's fine. I mean, that's sound. I don't know what they're gonna be doing with that. Just sound design means they're going to post and they're gonna fuck around with it, right?
Yeah. Are you, John? Are you out and about now? Can you look at your email? What I just sent you?
No, I'm sitting here. Hold on. Right now, the assassin.
Yeah. So this is the treatment where it's going through the scenes and what it is, and it's basically a model who's a guy's holding the models captive as sex trafficking kind of thing.
Is Alexander McQueen the designer, or the fashion person, the clothing they're using?
Yeah, that's the clothing. So the clothing brand. So those looks you see, that's all Alexander McQueen. That's $75,000 worth of Alexander McQueen clothing that just came on the market a couple of weeks ago that she owns. She owns a private collection of just insane couture clothing and this kind of high-end brand.
Who Anna owns these already?
Anna, yeah, these are all her. This is her private.
How did you make your money to do this kind of stuff? Dad?
No, married into it years ago.
Oh, divorced now?
No, still married, but as she's gotten a little bit older and has a family, but now she's got some more freedom, and she started out kind of thinking she wanted to be a model. Then it kind of moved into looking at acting. But this idea of doing these fashion shorts kind of fits both. It's something that lets you do acting in a short period of time, not on set, for 6 months or 9 months at a time. Keeps her in the world of high-end fashion.
Can't do this honestly.
Yeah.
Does she have the look still to carry? Because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Does? Okay.
Oh yeah. I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
and she's got the looks, and she actually has presence, has stage presence, she has all of that talent there. It's just never been used. And these short films is a better usage than modeling. Like trying to carry modeling at the age she is, there's not a business career there anyway. 40, looks 24.
Okay. So that means she's 45 at least.
No. She's I know legitimate. No, she's seriously legitimately 40. Looks 24. So the looks challenge isn't there, John. It's just there's not a career in modeling, especially in LA. And
one that I at 65, whatever she is.
Yeah, and I mean Bella, like the Hadid are doing okay, but this goal of doing a production company like this, she's the lead in it now. But the goal isn't that she's the lead in all of it. It's, can you build a production company doing unique fashion content in a different way? And so when
the script for her,
her and a girl named Brandy sort of did the outline, but Tommy, the guy that I brought in out of the commercial side, brought in a guy named Rick. Rick's background is advertising and a little bit of film.
Okay.
And so they started putting together, and again, this is where it got a little complicated. She had 5 or 6 fashion looks. That thing's up to 15 scenes and, all these different people and actors. So it's become a bigger production, which is harder.
Yeah. You don't want to lose focus of the primary reason you're doing, otherwise it turns into something which becomes a beast and comes out of hand. All of a sudden, this could 3-day shoot could turn into, even though it's a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing you can't do is go into overtime and overages. I mean, these are flat rates, 12-hour flat rate for the crew, right? That includes getting to the location, setting up, and all that shit, right? Now,
I hope so. I have to look if it's in there that way.
It has to. thing. Just
Yeah.
see here.
Yeah. So if you look through the assassin, it's.
I'm just flipping through right now. I get is that any shots of her or not in here?
Any shots of her? No.
Yeah,
I don't.
So they just do generic stuff in here. I'm just flipping through. I'm not really reading it. I'm looking
Yeah.
at it to see. And then Jean, chaos in the dressing room ensues. Dressers, handlers, models are moving. And so just walk me through the storyline so I have to read the whole thing.
Basically, there's a creepy guy who's a manager of models, treats them like shit. They don't quite know he owns their passports. So it's part modeling, part probably sex trafficking.
So this is the Jean guy, the sleazebag.
Yeah. I don't know which one. And basically she ends up getting, there's a little setup, but she ends up getting on her phone, her assignments to kill people. It turns out that the guy that's the modeling guy is trying to take out his competition. At the end, she ends up killing him and taking over the business. So at the end, she kills him and has all the girls line up and gives them their passports back and says, basically, who wants their next assignment? And it's a little bit empowerment. It's a little bit Me Too. It's action. It's assassin, but it's mostly was designed to be fashion.
You know what bothers me right at the bat, Steve? I'll be honest about you.
What's that?
So I'm dealing right now, this new company.
Yeah.
I wish I'd known about this. I brought in my buddy, Spencer, and I met.
You're going through a hallway, John. Hang on.
No, I'm right next to my phone. That's really weird.
Oh.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, now I got you. Go ahead.
Anyway, Spencer, I met him when we launched Facebook Live 360.
Yeah.
At the Met Gala, the biggest fashion show in the world, Met Gala.
Yeah.
And so Spencer and I stayed, to make a long story short, Spencer was the creative director for Instagram and Facebook for 8 years. So he's dealt with every major brand on planet Earth and everything, right? And he's one of the most creative guys I've ever met in my life. And so he joined, I talked to him, and he's in our company, right? And what bothers me initially is brands, having had many conversations with various brands, especially fashion, and he knows fashion better than anybody, is that, they want to be edgy, but if this is the first thing and there's murder involved and blood, that most brands will stay 1,000 miles away from that.
Yeah.
They don't want anything to do with anybody being shot or killed or guns, right? You can do stuff and have it be mysterious and sexy, but when you bring in guns and someone shooting somebody and killing somebody, that's a whole different thing. And my gut, again, I'm not an expert, but my gut is when I would not have written that into a script.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
That's my gut. I mean,
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that, but if you look at, for example, I have another idea for you. Okay. Heather Heller, who's one of my best friends, she was my co-executive producer at Digital Domain. Heather's real job is that she is one of the very top. This is what you should do, Steve. I hate to say this. If I don't know if you're getting paid for this. I would say
I'm not, but go ahead.
I would say put this whole project. I feel like you're rushing into it, right?
Yeah.
No reason. You don't have to, right? Heather is one of the very, very top luxury brand producers in the world. She and her partner is the director of all the Hunger Games, right?
Okay.
Big time, right? Heather works with Gucci. She works with Givenchy. She works with all of them. So you talk about high-end commercials and high-end everything.
Yeah.
I know, and Heather and I, we're talking about bringing Heather on our company as well, but she knows this world, and she knows everybody in the world of production of luxury brands. So my gut is to, hey, just put the whole thing on hold. You're not saying you're not going to do it with this, but I would say put it on hold. Let me track down Heather, see what she's doing, right? And maybe I can even get Spencer. Maybe there's something we can do, Steve, on the immersive side. So one thing that the big part of our company the last 2 years, Dominic, who's the CEO, he and his team, another company, have built the AR advertising platform for Facebook and for Meta. And they're just crushing it, right? So basically, now we're going directly to brands ourselves, saying we can do this, but also we can do virtual production.
Okay.
So, you know, the virtual production when you have the giant LED screens, and I don't know if you've seen, I don't know, I can send you some samples.
Okay.
Right? In fact, I'll do that. I can do that right now. I'll send you some video. I went and did a scout for a shoot. So I went to a studio that I'm going to do a partnership with. So do you ever see the show Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, I like it.
So Mandalorian is all shot using what's called virtual production. So virtual production, they have, you can even Google Mandalorian behind the scenes, and you'll see how they do it. And that's how they did Avatar. It's how they do the Marvel films. It's how everything is done now on super high-end productions, right? But it allows you to create anything, right? 1 second, buddy, hold on, someone's calling. I'm just walking around here. Okay, no, I don't need to take this one. Forget it. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're rushing into it. I do feel like really the budget is really fat.
So with what, no, I appreciate it, John. So from what you've seen, if hypothetically it was to go forward just because of timing, like I find out I can, you know, if it can get pulled and we can go through budget and bring in alternative options because of timing, that may be an opportunity. Initially that just wasn't there because this was trying to get done in 3.5 or 4 weeks, which was
again, here's when I go, what's the rush?
But that's what I'm saying. Before there was a rush because that McQueen, those looks that you see there were dropping at Paris Fashion Week, I see. So the goal was to have this out before Paris Fashion Week because then we were going to try and leverage Paris Fashion Week. That's already passed. So now there's not any definitive deadline or timeline. We want to get it done, but it's not like, oh, it needs to be done by this day. So you know what I'm gonna do, Stephen? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna, with your permission, I'm going to call Heather. Okay. Hang up with you. Heather is, you know, she's got a pretty. I mean, she just bought a house, her second house down in Newport, and totally gutted and redid the whole thing, and she's just happy living in Newport now, you know. But with your permission, I'm going to talk to her and see what she's doing, and I want to send her this deck, and I'll get her opinion. No, I will send her the budget and the deck because she's an expert on budgets. Okay, awesome. So much Thank you. Me, okay. Right? And see if she'll look at it. Okay. And then look at the deck and give me opinion on both. She might go, I would never fucking do this in a million years. Okay. If Heather says that, I would dump the whole thing. Okay. I mean that. All right. Perfect. All right. And so let me call her. I appreciate that. One last question. On the budget now, from what you've seen, how much? What percentage is it high? Yeah. 10, 20, 30? Let me see here. 1 second. You know, because let's say it's at 350, so 10% is 35,000. I mean, to me, it's even. I mean, honestly, Stephen, to me, it's what's 20%? 10 is 38, 60. 60. Okay. Yeah. No. It's at least 30 to me. Yeah. 30% high, and that's being okay. Conservative. That's helpful. Thank you. Okay. If I again, I just a quick look at it, but you know, this is, you know, it's a non-union shoot. They're still charging their production fee of $30,000 on top of that, right? I think they can say, well, yeah, they're charging 10 production fee, which is like basically a contingency, right? Now in the old days, you see 50%, right? 10% is stand. If this is, you know, these other line items, some of them to me are like what was it, $4,000 for the 1 day for the crane or something? What was it I told you? Yeah, the crane was something like 4. No, it was like 4,000 per day. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Okay. Again, to me, I don't know. I had a. I can even look it up. I think I had a. Hold on. I think I had. Hold on.
did I put it? Pull my budget out right now for the Into the Woods thing. If I have it handy, I don't know if I do or not. But I have my line on this right there. Let's see. Is this it? No, this is always. Let me see if I can. Because I could, again, I got a ridiculous deal on the crane because my friend owns the biggest crane operating company in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So he basically gave it to me. I called him favors, but that's my gut, Steve. I just feel like it's overall bad. Again, if this guy's trying to, if this guy has done tons of commercials and does high end stuff, yeah, but you know what? He should be cutting you some serious slack because this is a woman. I'd be trying to help the girl. Listen. Well, I am. So I'm trying to help her, but I'm at a bit of a weakness on budget and stuff. That's why. No, but these guys are not trying to help her. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Then that's what I needed, John. So this gives me ammunition with Tommy, who's a friend of mine, and he brought these other production guys in. I don't know them, and I didn't know where. Oh, so Danny Pollock is the guy that put the Danny Pollock guy, some guy that Tommy brought in that has this whole production. Tommy's the friend of mine that I'm like, hey, I need your help on this, because it was. So Tommy doesn't know this world either. Then I don't know, like he kind of does, but I don't think he has a production company. Like this Danny guy was brought in as part of the team. Yeah, so, I mean, this form of the budget is a very professional budget. The way that is a totally professional budget. So yeah. Questionable. But 330. So Steven, what's 3-day shoot? I break it out. That's $100,000 a day. Even though you have pre-production and post, that includes everything. But I'm being very 3 12-hour days, steady cam 3 days, a drone for 2 days, a crane for 1 day. Stunts for 1 day, art, labor, expenses, post editing, visual effects, blah, blah, blah. Casting and talent fees. I mean, again, this is fucking overkill to me, right? Okay. For what you need. That's my gut. I mean, I know if I was doing this, I would be doing it, trying to save, what's her name? Hannah, whatever her name is, money. Anna, yeah. Anna. Okay. Yeah. But I can tell you one thing. Heather can look at this thing in 2 seconds and go, this is bullshit. All right, buddy. She's the expert in budget. She did my budgets for me at Digital Domain, put it that way. Okay, send it to her today. Please let me know if she can get back because this is moving. And then I'm in town. If you get caught up and want to grab drinks, let's do it. All right, let me call her right now and I'll call you back, see if she can help out. All right, buddy. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. Bye.